Thanks, everyone. Great to be here. Good to see some familiar faces, but also lots of new ones, which is obviously a great sign. So I'm from Hivestack today. So Hivestack are the world's leading full-stack ad tech platform for the programmatic digital out-of-home space. And for some from out of home to be speaking for innovations in data is obviously quite a new step, but hopefully it'll show how far we've come and inspire you today with a few of the things we're going to show you. But I think it's fair to say out of home is a massively evolving media channel. It's actually the oldest form of advertising, from the kind of arguably cave paintings to the kind of community bulletins back in the many years before even I started the industry. Then we evolved to the billboard, which became networks of 48 sheets, 6 sheets, etc. And then we got to number 3 there. We actually had some animation. We had some dynamic turning poles, which had 3 bits of creative on there. Those were the days. And then we went into the loop at the bottom here, which is where we've probably been for the last 20 years or so, where you've got 1 in 6 slots. You can be a bit dynamic, you can buy at weekends, etc., but you're still kind of buying 1 in 6 as kind of a share of voice buy. And now we're moving more into more dynamic and actually programmatic engagement, which again, that's the space we're talking about today. So example here showing you a live score patch from a DCO point of view, but also programmatically activating based on audiences in real time. And I think tech is very much at the heart of this transformation. So you've got here, look at data and insights. So look, data and insights are in every single channel, of course, but we're getting more and more now from how people are moving, how people are mobile. Mobile location data is fueling a lot of what we're doing. But also we're able to use APIs to kind of tap into what people are doing on the tube, how people are traveling around with TomTom, etc. So all this kind of data gives a lot more insights to how people are going about their days, and obviously how we can activate and target them. And targeting and measurement, again, that has really exploded now into our space. So yes, you can target based on behavior. So you can look at audiences that are perhaps going out to look at used cars that are being observed in Audi dealerships. You can start to actually target based on that, and then looking at where that audience is moving in real time. We can measure them. We can see, what from that, did they go online? Did they start looking at Audi cars? Did they actually go back to the dealership? Perhaps they bought a car. So it's a lot of this now. We can prove end to end what audiences are doing and how they're acting. We can optimize in flights as well. So change your creatives, change your geos, change your strategy. We can be really agile with that. And then finally, contextual relevant, which is what I'm talking about today. So it's obviously trying to get the right message to the right people at the right time. But again, using lots more technology, lots more kind of triggers and what we're calling moments. And these moments we really do think do matter. So guys, if you could just take a moment to dream with me, we're going to have a look at something here. It's 18th of December 2022. England are in the final of the World Cup. I said, dream with me, keep up with me, this might happen. We're playing Germany. 90th minute, corner comes in. Harry Kane leaps like a young salmon, headers the ball in. Scores for England, we win the World Cup. That moment in the UK is going to be huge. Imagine owning that moment. Imagine taking every screen in the UK with that congratulatory message, again in real time, congratulating Harry Kane. Maybe it's British Airways, could be any advertiser. But let's say they got it wrong. It wasn't Harry Kane, it was actually Harry Maguire. Again, we've got the kind of capability with DCO and the ability to be really agile, change that over quickly. And of course, well done, Harry Maguire. Fall off the stage. It might happen, who knows, guys, but if it does, we can do that. We can activate 30,000 screens in the UK immediately with that goodwill message there. Really powerful. And this is what moment targeting is all about. It's one of the key things we offer on our DSP, and we're evolving very quickly at the moment. I think also what you need to do is consider your data first and foremost here. There's a danger that the more data you get, the less you actually use. So with Spotify, the new algorithms for kind of music obviously opened up 20 million tracks to be used, but we actually end up using less and less, and we actually listen to less, the ones we like the most. And there's a danger with that in out of home. There's a danger of just relying on weather triggers, just relying on temperature, maybe pollen as well. But what we want to use is genuine business intelligence. So it's not such a linear activation. So we're using these kind of bits of snippets as we go in real time there as well. But weather and temperature is perhaps the most common offender. So weather's an example here, but actually the research shows that actually when you get to 25 degrees, people are buying more and more ice creams. It's hot, we get it. But when you get to 25 degrees, that actually starts to decline. People are concerned perhaps they're going to melt, before you get home there. So that kind of falls away a little bit there. So what we're kind of asking for you today, it's all about no guts, no glory. We're asking you to be brave with your data. test, learn, optimize, try new things. I think once you come into the space, try and be more than just a linear activation, you can get some great results here. There's estimated that $3 trillion worth of business is affected by the impact, by the weather, sorry. And only 5% of activations utilize weather. So there's a lot more things we can do with weather and beyond. This again, I don't know if you guys are familiar with this. This is research based on the profit of 1%. So weather affects everyone's mind and behavior. So today, gloriously sunny day, hopefully we're all feeling positive. But obviously that has a knock-on effect to retail. Therefore has a knock-on effect to advertisers and marketing. And we have the ability to capitalize on that. So again, it's some examples here. When the temperature goes up 1 degree, of course things like sun care is going to go up. But also, do you know that gym memberships start to go up as well? People start thinking about, the beaches and the holidays. Canadian research proves that people are willing to pay more for their gym memberships as the temperature goes up. Again, it's contextually relevant. It becomes more of an issue there. Conversely, when it's colder, yes, of course, people are going to have soup. They're going to have soup. They want something nourishing, warm to eat. 25% increase in mousetraps, would you believe? I'm not sure if there's any marketeers from the mousetrap space here today, but it's worth bearing in mind. There are lots of different things. You can have a bit of fun with data as you go. We need to be commercially viable, but certainly within things like soup, there's lots of opportunities there as well. In fact, Campbell's Soup, they did a study with the misery index in America and actually started to impact how they acted on radio. So again, there's lots of things we can do in and around weather. But here, actually, programmatic is used, digital out of home is used to impacting the environment. But what we can do with programmatic moments is actually think about the context, thinking about what's going on, what's the cultural zeitgeist at the time. A few examples here, I'm just going to pick a couple. So the top left and the bottom right, that is one moment in time. Perhaps that's Harry's goal we saw a minute ago, but that's actually Box Park here in London, lots of screens around there. We can capitalise on that positive mood at the bottom there. Perhaps not so in the bottom right. Apologies, any Germans present today. But that's probably, you could do a different message. It's all about the context creative there. KFC, I have to talk about KFC today. So everyone knows about when they famously ran out of chicken. That was obviously a disaster for a business that focuses on chicken. And they did a great social media campaign. Everyone remembers this FCK, but they didn't actually activate in the out-of-home space. So this could have been brilliant. As and when chicken was returning to restaurants in different parts of the country, you could have some fun with that. You could activate there, talk about the journey of the chicken back to the store in each of these different markets. That would have been great. And then finally, things like Eurovision. We're talking about the UK here today, but Hivestack, we're active in 25 markets now across the world. You can activate messages across that. So across Eurovision, it's a bit of fun, of course, but there are aspects here. The Ukraine message was phenomenal. The UK did well, other countries not so much, but you can actually impact on that and activate. And I think consolidating all about scale is really, really important as well. So again, we, during the pandemic, actually, with some people in the audience here, activated a Gucci campaign, which ran during the pandemic. They used first-party data to kind of work out which creative was going to run in different countries. It ran in 5 different countries, 3 different continents, from a guy on his laptop in East London. Phenomenal. And that's it. I think the whole world is being connected now. With the platforms like Hivestack, you're able to consolidate and scale and just make these kind of this journey a lot easier. So obviously we believe it's our moment to shine. I think we've all seen about the year of programmatic X, the year of connected TV. We think programmatic digital out of home, it's had probably a longer gestation period, but now it's our moment to shine. A few examples here. So New Look, this was an example we did with our great partners at Kepler, who are here today, which is great. This used the mobile location data we talked about earlier. We can actually see who are the shoppers, who's going into New Look stores, who's going into their competitive stores as well. Start creating audiences based on that. We can also see which of the creators was working the most optimally for different locations as well. So again, optimizing in flight. Really great results of that as well. Case study available on the website. A campaign here we did with TUI, with our partners at Mediacom and Kinetic. Weather activation, but this is slightly different. This was actually using weather triggers at destination. So what Crystal wanted to do was talk to people in and around airports or access to airports in London, Manchester, Birmingham, etc. Remind them that snowfall in resorts was great. Next year, don't forget your trips to the ski resorts. And actually, we could pivot here. If you remember at the start of the year, you couldn't travel to France, so we had to change the resorts. We had to go to Borovets in Bulgaria. But this is great. You see an ad on Tottenham Court Road talking about weather 1,500 miles away. Awesome stuff. Lumo trains, again, this used airport data, so wealth of data in airports. Use that to start communicating when there was a high density of domestic flights in and around airports to remind them of the sustainability of rail travel. So again, great work from Kinetic and Mediacom here. So we think there's more moments to come, and again, we're really proud to work with the team at Flux who are here today. Flux are experts in both DCO, so dynamic creative optimization, and DMO as well, dynamic media optimization, talking about the moments we're talking about here. It's a great partnership. They're the experts, we believe we're the experts, and together we're doing some great things. Huge amount of opportunities here, various verticals. Just an example, for example, the common cold. The guys know when it's likely to have a common cold. So if 72 hours, the weather drops consistently, humidity rises, the chances of having a common cold rise as well. So LEMSIP, etc., great opportunity there. Airports, again, abundance of data you've got there. So perhaps it's talking in the language for a particular arrival into the UK. Or, unfortunately, if flights are delayed, trying to get shoppers to go to, whether it's duty-free or other retailers, to spend the money whilst they're there. Loads of opportunities in retail. You can talk about the closest store, you can direct people to that. You can also actually find out, if you connect to their API, their stock levels, we can find out which ranges are selling quicker in different places. Again, be brave with your data. Start talking about different stores, different genres, and again, making that as personal as possible for the location. And finally, kind of entertainment. That entertainment genre is really important as well. So, be this films, you can start talking about the closest films that are being shown at a certain time. You can also find out about a certain genre of music that people like and start talking to them about that in proximity to where certain gigs are going on for house music, for reggae, for wherever it might be. Lots of stuff you can do there. Or you can actually just tap into the sales of tickets at cinemas. And again, when the cinemas ticket sales are low, start putting those ads out to drive, get them bums on seats at cinemas. Finally, last couple of slides here. So this is a really, really exciting development that we're pleased to talk about. So social listening and social sentiment. This is kind of aggregating behaviour and what people are talking about online and then activating against that. Are North London talking positively about travel again? Are they talking more cautiously about that? Let's capitalise on that. Is the mood positive, negative? Is happiness there? Is it fear? Whatever it might be. We can aggregate that. That's really powerful. That's blending, obviously, social, mobile perhaps, and out of home. Really, really, this is fresh out of the box. So please shout to myself or the guys from Flux if you want any more information on this, but really exciting. And I think I'm just about on time. I'm looking at getting a nod here. So look, we've shared quite a lot of stuff here today. There's so much you can talk about. I've spoken as quickly as I can, but we would love to be challenged. If you've got any more ideas, any verticals, any data sets, anything you want to challenge us with, how we could activate that out of home, my email address is here. Fire that through. The most challenging one, I think in 24 hours, we want to come back with a solution, let you guys know about it, and we'll put that out on social as well. So that's it there, really. So I think moments do matter. I've been Lee Cutter. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Lee.